That door's jacked up.
Yeah.
The whole door.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a whole freaking door.
No, I think it's glass that you're hearing.
Well, it just looks like it's not opening right.
Well, I can't even get the thing. Look, there's glass in here where it opened. Now it's inside. They're gonna have to take the whole panel off. Look at the inside. As you can tell by the intro, this bear in the area definitely got the better of us.
It totally did, and it wasn't just us who got hit.
No, we were one of 6 campers out here. 2 of us had windows and our vehicles broken out, and 4 others had their RV either had a window busted out or it scratched or dented something. In fact, one couple was sleeping. The bear busted out the window, reached in and grabbed the blanket right off of them.
When we checked into the campground, the camp host actually warned us that there was bear activity here in this campground, and he said more activity than it has been in years before.
First clue.
He also said to make sure we take all of our food out of our car if we have any snacks or food or our air fresheners,
Yeah, anything scented.
to remove it from the car. So we did that.
Clue number 2.
We did all of that. And the next morning we still woke up with our window bashed in.
Well, we thought we had done all of that. So we had no food in the car. So we were like, okay, we're good.
That's right.
You know,
we thought we were on it.
Yeah. And
Not so much.
went to bed. Next morning I woke up and I rolled over and I looked out Stacy's side window, looking at the Jeep. I was more looking for the mountain bikes, make sure they were still good to go. And I noticed the driver's side window didn't have a glare on it like normal. And I'm trying to get my eyes to open and adjust. And I look, there was no window. And I said, oh, bleep.
Bleepity bleep bleep.
Our window's out. And we woke up, jumped out here, and there was glass everywhere.
Yeah, it literally exploded. So as Phil is starting to clean up the mess, the camp host comes by and he opens our door and finds
a thing of gum. We had a small cup of gum in the door pocket that we completely missed. Never would have thought that a bear was going to go after our winter fresh gum. Maybe he had bad breath. I don't know. And then we looked in further and we had a vanilla scented chapstick in there as well.
Yeah.
So he did warn us that, you know, they'll go after anything that has a smell, you know, of food or something.
Any kind of scent.
And I didn't know, maybe you did, they can smell up to 5 miles away.
Yes, they can. Their nose is crazy good.
Yeah.
And that was the second time we cleaned out the car. And
Yeah.
then that evening we started talking to some other campers that are actually up on bear knowledge. And they said to make sure you remove any kind of lotions, hairspray, anything like that from your car because they have now attached the scents of certain items with humans, which equates to food. So hairspray, lotions, potions, makeup, lipstick, all of that
Potions?
means, yes, lotions,
Okay,
potions. All of that means people are around, and where people are, there's food.
Yeah, and they were oddly enough, they were a couple that had their window screen. Their windows
Yeah.
were up, thankfully, but he pushed out their screen and was going after some fruit.
From watermelon.
Yeah, that they had in their kitchen. So I went, uh-oh, I forgot to check the glove box. So all day I cleaned everything out. I was vacuuming glass for it seemed like an hour out of the Jeep. I went back into the glove box. There were 2 things of lotion and a tube of toothpaste.
Mint
in there.
flavored.
So fail number 2 on our part.
Fail
So,
number 10, probably.
yeah, we really gooned that up. So we're just going to pass a few things on to you so that hopefully you don't have your window smashed out when you're in nature.
Yes, we have learned a lot with this experience, a lot about what we did wrong with this experience. So, of course, we always like to pass on our mistakes to you because hopefully it will prevent this from happening to you in the future and keep you safe if bears are around. So remember, when you're cleaning out your car, if anything is in there that you can put on your body, on your lips, on your face, in your mouth,
body, yeah.
take it out of the car.
I think America's law enforcement is missing out on these sniffers that these bears have. We should grab them as cubs and
Instead of
train them,
dogs.
and then add them to our canine partners. Because I mean, 5 miles away, that's a heck of a sniffer.
So what do you need to know to stay safe? First of all, bears get used to all the loud noises and the bright lights popping on and off. So they're around us enough to know that that really doesn't mean anything. So if you have those automatic lights that come on with movement, that won't be enough to scare away the bear.
Instead of loud noise-producing items outside, they recommend that you use talk radio, voices. Human speaking is what they might not. I say might. They might avoid your campsite if you're sitting outside talking, or if they hear a talk radio or a TV show.
And just so you know, music is not effective. You actually have to have the voices. So leave off your 90s hits, because that's not going to work.
Yeah, they're not dancing bears. They're looking for food because they need about 20,000 calories a day. Is it?
Yes, a day.
To
starting
sustain
in the fall.
their appetite. They are getting so used to us being around in their habitat because a lot of the forest fires, especially in this area, are driving them to where the humans are, where the scent's taking them. We're outside camping, we're barbecuing, we're making noise, all the things that are attracting them to us because there's burnt forest out there and they just can't find the food.
What are some of the things that you can do to keep the bear from hanging out in your campsite at dinner time?
Put the trash in your neighbor's sight. That's what I would do. No, I'm just kidding.
No, seriously. The first thing is don't put out bird feeders. Bird seeds are a dinner jackpot for bears. A 5-pound bag of birdseed can have up to 80,000 calories. So that bear is coming for dinner if you put out a bird feeder.
Yeah, and he's going to come back and bring his buddies the next night if you have that. The second thing is when you're out barbecuing, because we all do that when we're out here camping, is to clean up after you're done barbecuing. Clean up all your drippings. If you have splattered bacon grease everywhere, make sure you wipe down your table. But it is very important that at the end of your barbecuing, you burn off all the barbecue sauce, all the stuff off your grill, the grates. And if you have a bear box like we have right here behind us, stow it in there when you're done. That keeps the bear from finding, it'll probably smell it, but it probably won't come over here and tear anything up.
Yeah, and also remember, if you drip on the ground, any grease drippings, actually dig it up and put that in your trash. Don't leave that on the ground, because that scent is going to be heavenly to a bear. Next up, make sure you don't leave any kind of trash outside. And if you're feeding your pet outside, don't leave any pet food laying around inside the bowl, outside the bowl, because again, the bear's going to think that pet food is yummy.
Yeah, and the other thing too is we all like to sit around at a campsite and eat some good watermelon. Well, one thing you don't want to do is spit the seeds out. And I tell you what, we've been trained to do that our whole lives. Eat watermelon and spit the seeds. See how far we can spit them. Out here in the wild like that with bears that are active, you don't want to do that. Again, it's going to attract them to it. So if you have kids, you're going to have to teach them how to spit in a cup or something. I mean, you just don't want anything around your campsite that's going to attract them.
No watermelon seeds, apple seeds, all of that. Keep all of that in the trash.
Yeah.
Even if you do everything perfectly, a bear could still come into your campsite looking for food. If they found food here previously from another camper, they're going to register that campsite as a food source, and they may come back looking for more.
Yeah, their muscle memory game is strong. I can tell you that.
Or their belly growl.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you can do to actually truly deter the bears, or I should say two of the things, is to leave a different scent at your campsite that the bears don't like. And the two things that they say are effective, or maybe I should say they think are effective, are bleach and ammonia. Just like we hate the smell of both of those, bears hate the smell too. So all you need to do is take a couple of cups, pour a little bit in each one, and kind of put it around the campsite. Some kind of plastic bowl or something. You can put a lid on it of some type, but make sure you poke some holes in the top so that scent gets out.
Yeah, you could also put it in a spray bottle, dilute it a little bit, and spray it around your campsite.
We did that. And
we did it, and they haven't been back, but we don't know if it's a combination of that or we just took away all the scents. I'd like to think we're doing everything right after the fact.
Well, one thing to know about spraying it is I looked it up forever and I couldn't find a definitive time frame of when that scent dissipates. I read anywhere from 2 to 4 days depending on how diluted the bleach is. So I kind of like the straight bleach in a cup sitting around, because you can just kind of keep adding to that and you'll know when that bleach is evaporated or gone.
Yeah, but when you do put it out, just be mindful of where you put it out so that you don't forget to pull it in when you do leave your campsite.
Yeah, and think of pets and kids when you're putting it out. So you don't want a huge bucket for kids to play in or fall in, and you definitely don't want access to any of that would make somebody
Yeah,
sick.
covering it is key with the holes in it. That way, if it dumps out a little bit, it's going to leak out, but you should be good.
Oh, and one other thing we forgot to share was the locks.
Yeah, make sure you do lock everything. Now we're not even sure if we had our Jeep locked the other night because the car alarm didn't go off, so that's probably a good indication that we didn't have it locked.
Well, they should have just opened the door instead of busting the window.
We may have made it easier for them to then crack our window. But lock your doors and lock your storage bays, because these guys can open car doors. They can open up your storage
Yeah.
bays on your RV. That's why the bear boxes and trash cans, when you're out in the national parks and forestry lands, they have those deals where you got to push up. They got levers that are hidden that you got to put your hand in and push. So lock everything up.
Yeah, it will deter them. There's not 100% of anything that says they
Right.
won't break in. Also, if you have low windows in your RV, it's recommended to close those windows.
It didn't help the other ones the other night.
Well,
but
it was just an
it's
arm getting in. It wasn't the whole bear.
Yeah, okay, just an arm.
Although if it had stolen my covers, I probably would have pooped the bed.
Yeah, and you can rest assured that we would have been on the road.
Yeah, and those are the only campers that left the next day, and I can see why. I'd have lost my mind. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even gone back to sleep. We'd have had to leave that night.
We would have been packing up damn quiet hours. We would have left in the middle of the night.
You see it, we gotta